Thank you. What are you thinking of, Martin, right now? What gets you excited about this game? Do you want that military circle?
I definitely don't want a military circle. I think these guys have been through way too much, and they have been tried, they have been tested. And I do like sometimes to have a trial by fire, as you say, but this time we've had enough. Although the plane is definitely going down there somewhere, so we could see some. But there's a chance for it now that the plane is down there. The tendencies are, if the plane path goes over the military island, there's a bigger chance that you get a military island circle. But what I want to talk about, and what you guys talked about, Desperado jumping in school. Are they going to do it again?
Desperado. I hope so. I really do.
So the reason why they're doing it.
Oh, have you been talking to the players?
No.
You've just been theory crafting.
Well, I have been talking to them, and the reason why they're doing it is because they obviously want the Minas Generales spot.
Okay.
On Miramar, and that's where Vitality is. So if they could deny Vitality going into the grand finals, they would have their own spot in the group finals.
That's actually very smart.
Both Erangel and the Miramar. That's very smart. They do have Montenuevo in this group, but in the other group, they most likely won't have it. But they're going there again. It looks like they're going to be contesting in the school.
Also, Martin, real quick, Reciprocity have split quite heavily here.
They're in a big split. The Ruins and some of the old Desperado area. But you can see how Rafi's just turning around. If you look here, he's just turning around 360 all the time just to scout, to see where are teams, just to get information. So they're not aware like that all of this is free. And look at this. This is going to be a solid, I would say, 60-50. Maybe a bit bigger chance of a military. And the tendencies with these planes, they're quite clear. And that's going to be good for Shiv and Rafi being down here because there are two hard spawns called Lamenta.
Well, Lamenta, what a start. Kramer's already gone down. This is Vitality really suffering at the hands. I'm hoping that you can see an answer back. Jazz has got a bit of a glimpse towards it in the old pool house. But there is still issues around. Shadow is there, so it's a bit of a sandwich for Vitality. It's a bit awkward for them.
Yeah, Nasus, he's even further east, so Jazza and Shadow, they're the only ones in here. Fake actually jumped on Calvin Klein. They jumped in their apartments. So they did a 2-2 split. 2 in school and 2 in apartments to completely contest Vitality. Vitality currently sitting in 9th place, 50 points, or shared 8th. Navi's also on 50 points, but have more kills, so they take that tiebreaker. Raise your edge here. They're going to be having ES Knights to themselves after bullying the other team out. We need a home, so they're not going to be down there. So I think we need a home. They're happy with their decisions right now because they're sitting very comfortable down military right now. They can take whatever they want, and they can do the bridge. They can do whatever they want right now, and further put themselves in there. Se7en is going to be having all opportunity to themselves, and Skoom is already going to be on the way out there with Hexeti, and they're going to be going all the way down to farm. This
is some really good decision making from Reciprocity. I want to see more of this. This is good. Obviously, they've been displeased, to say the least, with the amount of melee circles. They're not exactly a team that won't say it if they're unhappy about something. So, you can clearly see they've been very, very unhappy with that. But they've adjusted. They haven't just kept going and going and going until it didn't work. So, good to see that. Whether it makes a difference or not, that's yet to be seen. As you said, though, we need a home. I feel like they're on the other side of the kind of pendulum swing, right? They're happy every time it does go down to that melee island now. And last game, they finished, I think, last. Now, you can imagine they'll do much better. So, again, they've benefited off the back of this. Teams who haven't, though, M19, CrowCrowd, obviously, Raise Your Edge, long way to go. AVANGAR, Besiktas, Red Diamonds, all a little bit above that middle ground territory. So, it's going to be a long, old run back over. Unity, on the other hand, have started to really come into their own as well. They've started to operate at a much higher level than I expected. So, that's really nice to see for them. Early movement towards that kind of... What do you like to call that area? Just to the East Bridge, that little mini town that kind of waits where Orange Snow currently is.
The Crossroad compound?
You like Crossroad compound?
Yeah, Crossroads.
Okay,
but that's not the Crossroad compound. Shots coming out from Nasus, though. It's going to be found. Hard down to 40 HP. Nature coming out. Oh, this is not good. He's going to be naded.
He's got that.
Yep.
His spidey senses were tingling, but they still found him. Fake did get the nade through, and that's another loss for Vitality here. It looked like he could maybe have done some damage. And Calvin Klein happy to pick that up. And on the other side of things, Vitality losing out this time.
This is not going to be good for them. Obviously, them losing a player last game and still taking the win was a big win for them, and that's what they needed. A 3-way tie right now on the 8th place right now, so they definitely need to continue stepping it up. And in Desperado, they can, and definitely also if they decide to contest in Miramar, it's going to be very, very rough for Vitality here. Lamenta.
This could be an answer.
Spider senses again, I think.
Oh God, the angle. Contenders, what an angle to work from. He's tempted for more, and I actually don't blame him looking for this one, potentially. A little bit isolated. There was a player nearby him not too long ago, so I can imagine there will be someone still around to help him out, even though Fake and Calvin Klein were up on the hillside. Jazza, smoke's going down. Shadow is there. That was the hunting squad that went looking for him, but...
Oh, Tauxera, look at this angle.
Tauxera, does he know where he's going at this point? I think he's trying to get the outside of the wall here as well. And Contenders has to be cautious himself. Sprays in. Oh, Contenders got him.
He hit him through the smoke. Just spraying in the smoke because they were trying to resurrect. This is insane. And this is Vitality out in 16th place without any points with only 2 games to go. And knowing Desperado and what they're trying to achieve with this, they're trying to get Minas Generales to themselves, so they're definitely going to be contesting. Although Minas Generales and Miramar is a different story in terms of if you want to contest, you have to be really kind of aware because it's a really big area, and you can definitely split a lot with this. But this was definitely a win for Desperado. And also Reciprocity that adapted really quickly, took a boat, and they're already down on the military island and trying to come there extremely quickly.
Yeah, I was listening to the Desperado guys discussing exactly Vitality's rotation routes, how they pulled it off last time, you know, which way did they come into the circle, how did they get, you know, because they kind of came from the same eastern side of things, so it was interesting hearing them kind of theory craft constantly about the team they're coming up against. A couple of shots down towards the Red Diamonds. This is up north with Besiktas trying to catch teams coming out of potentially Georgia Pole there. They are beginning to want to get to the south soon themselves too, though. Let's look at who's over in the circle very briefly. Reciprocity, as you said, getting quite there pretty quickly. Tornado have got themselves across the bridge. Unity have gone for a very different approach this time. They've gone very far south. They've gone from Novo all the way around on the southern side, maybe trying to get themselves in a good position for the circle late game. Everyone's moving right now. These bridges are about to get busy because a lot of the boats will have been taken a little earlier on. Maybe 2 or 3 teams, 2 teams probably right now have used them, so there should still be some available. It might get a little bit tense towards the end. More teams on rotation past. School might be taught a lesson. Do not come past here with the Desperados picking up so many kills.
Yeah, Desperado already the 4 points here from the beginning. The first 4 points and the first 4 kills of the game. Very well executed hot drop here. And also, we just before, we saw Reciprocity decided not to beach the second boat they took down there. And Rafa actually jumped in and repositioned this boat to make sure if it actually goes north in worst case scenario and everything for them, they're going to have a boat ready, and they're going to be able to counter-rotate and go in the north again. Everyone is going to be trying to get on the other side here. DigitalLadder is going to be able to cross this bridge quite smoothly. A beautiful Des already sitting on the other side. Se7en also taking one of the boats. Again, the boats here on Erangel are hard spawns, just like some of the cars we have. We have 20 additional hard spawn cars. Those are the Dacias with flames on because of the esports modes and our competitive settings. And so are the boats, and there are more boats kind of placed towards the middle and the sides, so there's more boats available for the team that wants to cross, of course. DigitalLadder actually decided not to bridge camp, so Pittsburgh Knights are also going to be able to cross the bridge without any hinder. And Ratio Edge is going to come in kind of behind and try to scout that. Se7en, they're going to be coming in quite nicely here on the northern western side of military. No problems with them either. Drayden scouting as well. The stop and scout kind of meta is definitely in place here. Oh, they have a lot of 2-seater bikes. That's 3 so far. M19 also coming in inside the blue here. Quite slow rotation. KA17, one of the management members of M19, because M19 lost 2 members to visa problems. So their CEO and I believe one of their managers is playing.
Kind of cool that they can at least play. Like, yeah. Some teams, I can assure you, their managers and CEOs will be sat there like, nah, not for me, not for me. But hey, at least they've jumped in and done the best they can. Credit to them for that.
Jumped in the jersey.
Yeah,
I mean, there's also a kind of a lifetime opportunity doing this, right? And it's going to be the experience. So they will know the amount of pressure and kind of the adrenaline that will kick in while this happens. Oh, it's going to shrink, kind of centering up, but it's definitely looking to be a military zone and also a northern military zone here. We do have in phase 4, it's going to go away from water with this, with our land ratio competitive settings. Unless it hard shrinks north, then it'll be something like, it will then be guaranteed to go north, but it's mostly unlikely here. AVANGAR in the blue, all 3 of them in a boat. They're going to be going around. They're going to be using quite a lot of meds for this. It's phase 2, so it's obviously the damage they take from blue is quite a lot higher. Besiktas has also found a boat in the Therapy Island, looks like. And they're going to be jumping in simultaneously and then be sailing in after that. Navi with some rotations, Red Diamonds with some rotations. They could be clashing with CrowCrowd here on the northern side.
It looks like they are actually doing just that. A couple of shots. They're not that close, but they're definitely going to have to kind of cross each other's paths at this point. This is Na'Vi's battle going on. Bestelok a little isolated from the other three of his side. And actually, Raise Your Edge have just suffered to the Knights. Is this the bridge camp that could have potentially happened? It's a little further down towards the crossroads.
Yeah.
And Fast Rail's the one to suffer. Minox does manage to move away in the vehicle, but this could be problematic here. This is the replay of the first kill coming through. Oh, that's a great pickup.
Nice spray, nice. This is nearly 180-degree turn. And Snark picking up Fast Rail here. He's going to be smiling. Snark is one of the replaced members from Raise Your Edge, picked up by Knights afterwards. So he's going to be smiling, picking apart his old teammate. It's going to be laughing a bit about that. And they're going to be having a fight a bit later. Raise Your Edge also playing with a stand-in player, Nemerith. Now that 6 is playing for Stella. And they couldn't make that change until after the Kick-Off Cup have started. So the Besiktas, they're going to go on the southern side. Or are they even maybe going to jump in here? A bit risky maybe. Not inside the first zone. They didn't want to go in kind of the ferry pier bridge area, understandable, but depending on how far they go, they're going to have a little bit of a run trying to get in here.
You definitely will. And we do see Red Diamonds still kind of lingering around by the CrowCrowd. It seems as though they're going to be okay, though. They're not forced to fight just yet. It will eventually happen. They could potentially peel away. You could even see a knock, but I doubt it's going to be a huge deal. We do see a couple of shots being baited out, trying to force them to peek the windows. Nothing going to happen from that. Again, keep your eyes towards the melee base itself. I want to see who's really getting where. We do see AVANGAR arriving. Besiktas have gone very far south. They've kind of swept all the way around to the southern side of Sosnovka Island. And at the moment, who's slap bang central here? If it does go southern island, of course, you're looking at Na'Vi with a nice 2-2 split. We need a home, decent enough position. Tornado, Digital Athletics, and Reciprocity really are the ones kind of slap bang in the middle of it, assuming nothing goes wrong. And obviously the other teams towards the north. And we do have a late bit of play from Raise Your Edge moving in on the northeast side of Sosnovka Island themselves. And DESPERADO is still on the northern side of this, still on the main island of Erangel.
Yeah, they're used to 2 boats being here, but now that they don't start here, they're obviously taken. So they're going to be rotating in the blue. And once this phase 2 closes and we go to phase 3, it's going to be 1 damage per second. So they're really going to be burning through some of their mats. But they can definitely, they can think at least that the eastern bridge is open now that it's outside the blue. So this would be a perfect transition. It's going to be a nice southern circle here. It's definitely going to pull away from water, but there's still some room for it to kind of go around. The 4th phase is about 915 meters wide. So, and then we still have a lot of kind of space. So it can go both ways and both east and west, I would say. But it's most likely going to end around Tornado Energy, maybe even about where Reciprocity. We had some of the kind of a similar ending where DESPERADO did very well on our first day. So they're going to be looking happy about that. But definitely here, this is where I would kind of think about having a 2-2 split on both sides of the road, so you have kind of both opportunities to play on both sides. Because if you have to cross that late, you're going to be absolutely hammered.
Yeah, you're going to die. That road is heathen to cross. The beach line that runs across the north side of Sosnovka Island doesn't have much cover on it anyway, and that road's just like the pinnacle of death at that point. Everyone can see it. It's all eyes on you, so you've got to be very, very aware of that. And I'm sure they will be. I'm sure a lot of teams are considering right now, do we try and get a 2-2 split going just in case? Is there potential for that? Are we too late to do it? A lot of the areas do now have teams kind of littered across. You do have Na'Vi being quite brazen in positioning. They have kind of not a complete kind of isolation of one player everywhere, but they do have a very spread out 2-2 split, which is giving them a lot of attention, but also keeping a lot of territory. Yeah,
more shots coming in. Red Diamonds here taking some shots on M19. KA is going to go down to Edelweiss, one of the big players from Se7en. Very surprised with his performance so far, and he's been doing extremely well. Another knock here from these guys. We're down to just Eggery.
There's no safety. There's zero position he can hold right now. He's got fire from both sides, and he's running. He's going to have to try and make a move here because he's the last man standing for M19, and he's going to try and keep their team in this. It doesn't work out. Edelweiss does find him. And, sorry, it was Crab who found him in the end. So, at the end of the day, you've got to feel for M19, but they were quite late coming down. That was, again, one of the teams up in the very north struggling to make it into this position. The Desperados have made it through. They're going to have to kind of, I guess, get what they're given at this point. They know they're late to this. CrowCrowd doing the same thing. Besiktas, also on top of, but look at Ultra's positioning. Can he hold back the AVANGAR side? Simsy watching the cross, but Snoopy's made it through. Snoopy breaking into the building, got a nade to hand, ticks it one up, waits a couple of seconds. And the trade out of nades. Oh, that's really good. Oh no, the nade! It's a disaster from him as well. He's going to go down to his own nade here if he's not too careful. He's going to bleed out regardless. Snoopy's pushed up. Really nicely played from Snoopy. Perfect tick on that. Can't help them out at all. Simsy missed that cross of Snoopy. But in the meantime, you still have Lux alive. You still have Simsy there. But Besiktas looking a little worse for wear now.
Yeah, they have a big split here on both sides of the road. Senya is also going to be taking some shots. He's found a Grossa. Shots are coming in from Anita Home. This is Omom. He's just going to be jumping in and be taken down by Rita. He's going to also be able to pick up that kill. Alpha's also be coming in with another car, and he's going to be taken down as well. This is a way too late rotation, and also going straight into the town here. What were they thinking of? Snoopy's going to be taking down Simsy with a nade. This is not looking good for Besiktas. Lux looks to be the remaining member of them, and they're on an edge position. Lux is going to be trying to cross the road and try to get him up as well. Meanwhile, obviously Navi here. You maybe have some information that there's a Red Diamonds member. He's trying to hide behind the truck there. Ooh, that's a nice headshot there from Aduzi. Ooh, and he's going to finish him off.
Very nice control from Aduzi. This is what I'm a little bit scared of when it comes to Navi. These guys are looking very dangerous with this positioning. And with the circle kind of shifting slightly towards the west of things, around that bigger hillside, the kind of pinnacle of it, that's just when you come across the bridge, the bigger hill there, Aduzi does get the knock that he started off as well. We're looking at We Need a Home in a good position here. Unity in a good spot. Tornado. Reciprocity have got the 2-2 off though. And there's your last man standing. Lux there trying to hold on against AVANGAR, who've already made really good ground towards that smaller compound to the south. We Need a Home are applying pressure towards it, and that's Lux gone. Maxi finds that. Pokemolodoy in the meantime did catch off Buster, and Besiktas going down quite early on this time.
Yeah, fortunate play, not what they were wishing for, of course. Navi already 3 kills, 1 for each. Real KB is going to be crossing the road. One is going to find X-Chris. Now Ratio Edge also on a late rotation here. More shots are coming in. Nice connections here from Wanted. And they're going to be continuing with a very low HP here. Where Diamond's going to be found.
Well, this blue is hurting as well. This is horrible for Razor Edge. Yeah, they're done for. Couldn't make it in. Razor Edge go down. Those kind of shifts away from them, the late rotation, the issues on the bridge, losing out to the Knights early on, they've really suffered. But it's not like CrowCrowd's in a better position here. Hello Senpai is hemorrhaging blood, ticking away. Every bit hurts, does get the heal off though, and gonna have to just take the bike and get in as best he can. That's all he can do at this point, needs to get out of that blue, and all these teams now working further forward. The Knights in the east gonna be walking in towards Tornado. You have Digital Athletics towards the north, Reciprocity are eyeing then up. And then you've got AVANGAR towards the south. Unity kind of pinched in with the Desperados, applying pressure from the military base itself. Well, Lamenta already has the taste of blood, and he wants a little bit more, so I wouldn't be doubting what he can achieve here. Calvin Klein building up as well. Lots of power on this team, a lot to be afraid of. But still, position-wise, Navi, We Need a Home, and Reciprocity so far looking quite nice on that.
Yeah, and Unity's going to be having a lot more pressure here now, this time from Navi instead. And they're going to be pinch completing. Usually, this hill is a decent position. Shift's going to be found by Samsa, though. And he's going to be taken down as well. They're fighting with Tornado Energy. Reciprocity is going to be forced to move a bit back. Battalions is going to be picked up by Orange Snow.
Yeah, like I said, he's feeling very isolated now. Lost out on his partner who's up there with him in that 2-2. Now, looking at this one, Digital Athletics working their way around. Gonna have to consider where their next couple of steps are gonna be. Sixmo taking a bit of damage. You can see the Knights working their way in. I think they might have spotted out Tornado. Yeah, a couple of shots coming through. That's Senya finding Orange Snow though, as Navi continue to keep pressure around the entirety of this map. Calvin Klein praying a shot lands here, hoping that he gets that connection and the points in the bag. But Se7en now have found Navi. Finally, some pressure coming back towards them after they had relatively free reign here. That northwest side slightly opening up with Edelweiss working their way around, opting to stay on the edge of things just to try and get maybe a better position to potentially add pressure towards Navi and get themselves in towards the center, but it's not without a problem, obviously. This has shrunk very well towards We Need a Home and Unity. They're looking pretty good here, but I'm still looking at that eastern side. There's so much pressure to be seen.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of teams coming in here. Tornado Energy is still in the eastern side. Digital Athletics, Pittsburgh Knights, Desperados, and they're all going to be forced to kind of move towards this area and this hill that Unity has, and also maybe even the Reciprocity hill. They can start from that and work their way on. Na'Vi in the northern side still with a 2-2 split, or a wide split even. They're forced to cross the road. They're going to be crossing the road now. Meanwhile, Reciprocity is going to be taking some shots at that. X team here is going to find a Snark. Meanwhile, DESPERADO are pushing up on this. This could be a big battle on the eastern side.
It really could, and Sixmo's got it started already. Samson goes down, and where's the push now off the back of it? No answer from Tornado. They can't quite get back in. Nades do come down. Compot's on the run, tries to get back into cover, find a bit of safety. A respite for a second, but it's not without danger. You've got the Knights in the southern side. Sixmo gets caught off by Haxeti. This is pretty impressive. Tornado has spotted out the Knights, so they know the predicament they are in. They're praying for third parties. They're happy that Reciprocity finally joins in. X-Team sprays in towards the smoke. That's still very much up in place. Wanted's there. Melman goes down. Compot's fallen. We do see the answer from X-Team, but he is looking a little worse for himself. Blue now forces this fight forward. Mbaki receives a shot from Haxeti as well. He is delivering it all throughout this map, as Reciprocity knows they have to deal with that eastern side before they are safe, as Na'Vi now sets up their defenses and waits for the winner of this eastern battle to come through.
And on the other side here, Reciprocity also trying to gain some points from this. Snark is going to go down to the zone. Knights, they needed this. They already have 7 kills. They're currently sitting in the bottom of the table. Murder's going to be taking some shots. He's the last player from the Disalytics, and Pittsburgh Knights are going to find him. That's 1 kill. He's going to go down to the zone. The Disalytics out in 10th place. One is going to be he has to keep running here, but Reciprocity is looking down at them, and they're looking to pick up more of these points here. Smokes are going to be deployed, and they're going to be forced to push even further. Not even close to the zone just yet. 9th place for CrowCrowd, and meanwhile.
Yeah, AVANGAR and Desperados might clash, but for now we got to look towards the Knights. They have found Raffi this time. Reel's there, praying for that bullet to connect. He eventually gets it. Raffi's got some moves on him, but Skoom and Haxeti are still standing. Where's the answer? There it is. Skoom finds his voice, takes down Drayden, but there's still threats lingering in the background of Na'Vi. They're the big beast waiting. This is just the trash on the way as Wanted catches out Skoom. And this is a bit of a battle, but here comes Na'Vi finally stepping up to the plate. Skoom's gone down. Reciprocity do not manage to take down the Knights before falling themselves. Na'Vi finally emerges from the top of the hill. The Kings are here, and they want to keep their crown. Already looking like this is going to be a nice position for them. We do finally see some pressure from the center being put towards Na'Vi, but they've been really, really vocal throughout this one, and the next shrink is big again for We Need a Home. They still control the compound. They haven't really had to move much, nor had to fight for this. So they might be coming in a little bit cold, but the rest of the team's fighting for every step they have to take.
Yeah, Na'Vi, they're also going to be forced to push even further north here. Se7en with a nice ring on the western side again. They can keep this high ground position and put a lot of pressure onto these teams. AVANGAR's going to make a move and try to get into the compound that We Need a Home has been holding since the first phase, I would say. AVANGAR, 3 guys alive. They did lose 1 to Besiktas just earlier. Snoopy's going to be jumping into this balcony house. We Need a Home. They have to kind of decide what part of the compound they want to keep and what they want to lock down, because they can't keep all of it in this late of a stage of the game. 6 teams are remaining here, 20 players alive. Knights managed to get a 7th place and 10 kills for them, so that's really one of the kind of games they needed to step it up here before going into Miramar just a little later.
And we have seen exactly what you said happen. We at Home have consolidated on the eastern side of the road, just putting all eggs in that basket. Na'Vi starting to move up through the north. We still have 7 there. We have 3 of their players spread out quite far. Edelweiss is there, Frank and Crab all towards the northwestern side. Towards the southeast, though, the Desperados are slowly building up. Unity are holding the ridgeline to a degree. 2 players prone down and 1 taking the peaks. Now, keep in mind, Desperados have to move here. The blue will be forcing them further forward, trying to take the low ground, but you can see that big open area of field. They need to win the fight. And of course, Codementor's doing just that. These guys are animals. As soon as Unity peaks up, they get dismantled. With only 3 of their players alive, this is impressive, but there's still 1 man up for Unity. The nades are quite good, though. Quite deadly. And this should land, potentially. No, somehow they stay standing, but it's Na'Vi joining in. That's the third party I was expecting. Calvin Klein's gone down in the meantime. A knock's come through. Even though the Desperados did some impressive work towards Unity, it's not without problems.
Nice information here. Nice little picture-in-picture. You can see how much communications are coming out from Na'Vi. All communicating, trying to give information of what decisions to make and what split to make. We have 1 player on the kind of the backside. It's Senya. He has spotted one of the 7 members that tried to cross the road. They got a knock onto Frankari, I believe it was. And they're going to be continuing here. 5 teams remain. Now, Snoopy has found Memo. And they're taking some shots at Das. And some more kind of pressure coming in. Desperado might be able to come inside the zone here, but they are only 2 guys alive now, and they have so much pressure coming in from Na'Vi, and they can stay just on the edge. I'm not looking to see them come even further in without dying from this.
Yeah, it looks like Se7en are trying to pull some more forces towards where Senja was pushed up, but his supports arrived now. Na'Vi can turn their attention back towards the north as a complete squad. This is an awkward battle between the two, and we do see, sadly for AVANGAR, that swing towards the east. They now have to kind of readjust themselves. We Need a Home still sit pretty. Good choices being made from them to move to that eastern side. Desperados now need to wait and play this one out calm and collected. They don't really have what they need to move forward. They don't have the pieces left on the chessboard, but the northern side is still dangerous. You see Na'Vi still standing, holding the high ground, and Se7en Esports in the low ground looking for their way forward.
Yeah, Se7en still here with a little low ground. They have to push. They're still kind of inside here, but they are looking to take some of the Na'Vi members down, and this is what is it between them and a win. If they want to win this game, they have to take down Na'Vi, but there's still a lot of teams and a lot of pressure coming out. Nice shots are coming out here from Francario. 5 kills for them so far from Se7en. Oh, best of luck. She's going to find Francario, and this is the time for push. Grabbing's going to be taken out by Senja with the Grasa as well.
Really nice work from Senja, but it's not out of the woods just yet. AVANGAR have decided to move up as well. They're third partying towards Se7en, and now you're seeing Edelweiss in all kinds of trouble. Left, right, center, fire comes in. We are seeing the Desperados on the other side of the split. That's We Need a Home joining into the battle. Se7en has gone down as Edelweiss fell, and AVANGAR claims some of those points, but We Need a Home are doing just the same thing. We're now down to 4 teams. We have in the north Na'Vi. We have the remainder of the Desperados. We Need a Home in the south, and AVANGAR in the same position.
Yeah, AVANGAR, they are going to have to cross the road a bit later here. And this is going to be rough for them. I'm not sure they have the smokes for this. Maybe you should start working on that situation right now. They need to make a push on to We Need a Home. Now that everything else is silent. Nates are coming out here from Coldamenta. He managed to get 1 player down, but not enough for them. Pokémon managed to crawl away to Bestalodge, and he's going to be picked up. And Na'Vi looks to be having the upper hand in this whole situation. AVANGAR is going to be putting the pressure on to We Need a Home, and with that, Na'Vi can make all the decisions that's going to be putting them into a winning kind of position inside the circle with the cover they have and finding out what they have to work with here.
Now, the big thing for me, in my mind, is I want to see good late-game decisions from We Need a Home. That was what happened last time, where they kind of dropped the ball a little bit, they let it slip, they had good players standing, and they just couldn't quite get that final movement. I really hope we see a more improved, kind of better decision-making from them here, and they become more assertive about it, but that's yet to be seen. We still need to see what happens with AVANGAR, Na'Vi, the remainder of Desperados, and it just kind of centers up a little bit, but enough that it forces We Need a Home and AVANGAR out of cover. There's a touch of one of the buildings left in for We Need a Home, but not enough to really have all 4 players around. So they do now need to make their move. But the issue is Na'Vi, the kings in the north, they are holding everything. That one ridgeline is going to provide a great deal of sight.
The question is here, if We Need a Home, is just going to be, you know what, AVANGAR, we're going to be moving later than you, so we're going to focus on you, and we don't really care about Na'Vi here. So this is kind of the decision they have to make. Do they want to make a play for the win, or do they want to make a play for the 3 points and the 1 extra placement points for eliminating AVANGAR here? So a lot of decisions kind of coming into this. And I remember playing this area, crossing this road where you are forced to cross it with 2 teams looking at you, it's impossible. It's so hard. So AVANGAR also have a big decision to make. But they're going to be smoking. They're going to be smoking all the way. Look at this. Snoopy already going for it. It's completely covered the whole side, and they're going to be pushing for that.
Innocutive just got melted by Memo, but Snoopy's there. Snoopy's made it forward, and Memo did have, I'm pretty sure, another gun out, but really good adjustment from Memo. That's 2 now. Can he find any more? That road is proving such an issue. AVANGAR tried to make a run. It doesn't happen. Memo went big. Rita's nade confirmed that. Now we are down to 3. We Need a Home are fighting for their home, and they're pushing towards the center now. They have to get ready to face Na'Vi. And Na'Vi have been deadly this time. We do still see the snake in the grass. Coldamenta is just praying that these 2 teams battle it out. That's what he wants. He does not want any involvement in this. And the smoke gets littered across the field. Na'Vi know exactly where We Need a Home are, and their eyes are just trained on this. Already Pokemolodoy strikes first. Memo goes down. Where's the reply? They need something back, and they need it fast, because this ridgeline is dangerous. Every peak is scary. The nades, the Molotovs, it's all raining in now. This peak is not safe. Pokemolodoy still looking dangerous. Can they find any more? No, Senja's found him. This is big. Na'Vi, are they going to push this? Are they looking aggressive on this one? They're trying to take that eastern side of the ridge, which has allowed Rita and Lipsin to push up a fair amount. This could be a small mistake, but they seem aware of it. They've heard the steps. They know the plan. Can Rita change this, though?
Rita here with 2 kills. Lipsin.
Oh, Senja. Information found. Lipsin Unleashes the bullets. That was a mistake. He couldn't make the shots count when he had him. It's down to Rita left, up against Na'Vi. Gets down one. The second was never going to happen. Senya is there, and Na'Vi stem the bleed. We are down to Bestelok standing, and all the others waiting to see what happens. Kodamenta is still here. Where on earth can he go with this one? So far, my answer is not very far. Did the best he can, but Na'Vi all day long hold this down.